Hey, it's time for more D&D.
Yay!
Yay! And I think we actually have everybody this week. Yay!
Yay!
Hey,
So, because we did not have everybody last week, we really need to talk about the things that transpired over the last session. So, let's see. So we started that session as you guys were almost all up at the top of the ziggurat at Oralunga. And after Fib and Dragonbait were sort of turned away by the last challenge, Lucius, being the only one who hadn't gone up yet, ascended to the top. And you all ended up meeting this, what turned out to be basically a snake, a large serpent with kind of humanoid features in the face. And this guardian Naga by the name of Sajan Baza offered you some guidance, some history of Chult, like a lot of history of Chult, particularly of one area known as the City of Omu, which is, as we are sitting here on the player version of the map, the area in the box down here.
So it really confuses me. There has to be a river there because you can't build a city in the middle of the jungle without a river. But there's no river marked to go down to the coast. So I'm really confused.
it's sneaky.
It's also a world where magic exists.
Yeah, but it doesn't logically make sense.
It's also dangerous though, because it's getting very close to Shark Boy Kill Big, and
I
his
know.
big fuck off sword is very
Right.
big.
Right?
Like, they're in the middle of, like, a mountainous region with volcanoes, and they don't have any water. Like,
Maybe part of like one of the first ordinances of Omu was an alchemy jug for every household.
but what happens if they all break one day?
I mean, what would happen if all of our computers broke one day? Like, yeah, that would be bad. Maybe that's why it doesn't exist anymore.
Becca, what happens when the Wi-Fi doesn't work?
Or what if every cup
We don't get to
disappeared?
play. Yes, what if every cup disappeared?
Well, yeah. See? The end of civilization as we know it.
But they don't have a source of water.
Well, they don't have any cups either, so nothing to put the water in anyway.
They can drink out of the source of water.
Nope.
Like, that's
So
a
they
thing.
could just dump the water from the alchemy jugs.
I don't know, Becca. That sounds like I was just gonna say. Sounds like a good way to get throat leeches.
I mean, it's called sieves. Like, I feel like
Fibs!
Like Civ 6, Civ 5? What are you talking about?
Also, rain catchers are a really prominent thing in Chult.
Is that for, like, catching rain?
Yeah, and then
How
drinking
many?
it.
What about Dreamcatcher?
All the rains.
But do you
Whoa.
know how many rain catchers you would need?
2.
Like,
It's
at
not a lot.
least 2
Yeah, 2 isn't
for
a
all the
lot.
people.
2 is like, it's less than 10.
Yeah, she's got a point there.
This is a factual statement, yeah. Anyway. After that, so yeah,
I've
you
honestly
guys...
been wondering this, like, all
I just like that Eric gave you a legit answer and you were like, yeah, but I still don't like it.
No, that's not a legit answer.
You're not a legit answer.
Like, solely off of what you have told me about this place and the fact that they have rain catchers would not supply enough rain to
Okay,
source
maybe at the time of the city's founding, they had a lot of powerful magic users who were able to supply water for the city.
If this was Eberron, it'd be easier because they would just have create water spells.
have create water spells in this game.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but not
that's
as
a thing.
widely spread as
I'm
Everon.
saying it's an ancient city. Maybe back then they were
An
more
ancient.
maybe they were more in touch with magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it.
Oh, Becca.
Yeah.
gets told about a place with a tomb of 9 dead gods, but looks at where it is on the map and sees that there really can't be a river there. That's sketchy.
It
Couldn't-
is.
Couldn't there just be a river going north?
No,
Yeah,
because
Becca.
it doesn't have an outlet.
There's a lake north of it, next to Umbala.
All the way over there.
It's a big lake.
I mean,
I like how this conversation is also just discounting aquifers and like underground rivers.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, Becca?
By the fact that they're next to volcanoes, I figure that it's probably mostly lava and not
They
water.
like their water to be very hot.
I mean,
Spicy
maybe
water.
it's like Iceland and has, but it's so far.
Okay, well,
Trust it.
we
can
will
move on.
we will table this discussion until the next meeting of the Chilton Environmentalist Society.
yeah, we gotta get down there and see what's going on anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do
I'm
our
just
environmental
telling you.
impact study when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's suspicious, and I don't like it.
I mean, I guess the one funny thing though through all of this is this could actually be a legit concern for Cyrene because water.
Becca, what was the word that Jeff used that you were like, he used this word?
Pontificus.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
He's-
Anyway.
So I made this point to Laura
Oh
that
god, here we go.
Jeff continuously calls himself dumb, but then he uses that freaking word. Like, how
He's
many
definitely
people
not
know
dumb.
what that word means?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, he's-
So anyway, yeah, you were told about the city of Omu, where, well, super abridged version. A long time ago in Chult, there was one biggest, most powerfulest of the gods that was basically the creator god of the region. His name was Ubtao.
maybe he dried up the river. With
That could
the
be it.
hatred.
Could be it. But then one day, because of the excesses of his people, particularly those of the residents of Omu, he disappeared, no longer to be seen or heard from ever again. And in his place, 9 nature spirits kind of rose up and tried to claim some semblance of godhood. And they became known as the trickster gods, for they were not real deities. And so as kind of like faction wars broke out between the followers of these 9 trickster gods, some really cruel and messed up rituals came to be from all of this. So cruel and so messed up that the initiation rites that were going on at the temples of these deities drew the attention of famed intercosmos wandering archlich who really does love himself some torture and misery, a Sararak. And he decided to pay a visit to Omu and kill the 9 trickster gods and enslave the population to dig a tomb for these 9 false deities, after which he he may have just buried everyone in Omu alive in the tomb and left them to their own devices. So, all of that being known, and also being known that there is an evil sect of snake people, the Yuan Ti, who have taken up residence in the above-ground portion of Omu, led by the evil necromancer warlord Ras Nasi.
Is he also a Yuan-Ti?
So, The stories are kind of hazy on that. You know that he, at least at one point, certainly was not, because he came from outside of their society and like joined them. But you don't really know his current state. But he has, by the information that you've heard, basically assumed leadership of this this sect of Yuan Ti.
How does one morph into a UT?
An excellent question. Perhaps you should ask one of them.
Okay, we need to capture one of them alive so I can ask. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
It's all good. So I think that's the big stuff for Omu. And then as you all were leaving, those of you who kind of patient and stuck around and committed actually to doing something about this evil necromancer warlord Ras Nasi, you were granted some boons by the Guardian Naga. And so don't forget about those. They could come in handy.
But I forgot about them. What were those?
Well, you didn't get any because you didn't actually meet the Guardian Naga.
That sounds like that thing
Like
in
what?
Star Wars.
Which thing?
I don't remember. I
What
just
sounds like it?
you. That
You?
noise.
Oh. That?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that does sound like something.
It's gonna be one of those nights, huh?
Oh man, that's gonna drive me crazy now.
Oh, the Tauntauns?
That's what I was thinking, but hang on. I'll look up a tauntaun.
So anyway,
I was
well
kind of
that's
thinking that too. So
well that's going on. Yeah. So some of you got boons from Sajin and Baza, so don't forget about that. And then you charted a course back to Port Nine Zaru, and then down past Firefinger-ish to attend to Azaka's request. But that got a little complicated as toward the end of the session, you were... well, a D100 was rolled.
By
I'm not going to say by who. Oh, okay. Okay, I guess you'll say by who. And you were basically ambushed by a T-Rex.
you didn't tell them her score.
It might
It's
have
not
been less than 2.
necessary. It might have been, but no one remembers.
She had a 1 in 100 shot of rolling this number.
And I didn't.
And she did.
I didn't roll anything else except the number, is what I meant.
So yeah, out of the woods, off to one side of you, a T-Rex comes barreling through. Luckily, with Artis around, he was able to throw up a...
He
basically
threw
like
up? I don't remember that.
an icy version of Bigby's hand, to kind of hold the thing at bay while you guys made your escape and kind of contributed in your own ways with like gusts of wind and other effects against the thing. So you were able to flee that encounter, luckily, although Azaka stayed back to hold the thing off, which seemed suicidal until...
Were-tiger?
Yeah, until you saw her like throw her weapons down and hulk out and turn into a hybrid form were-tiger and rush into battle against the T-Rex. So, down one guide, and I mean also a quest giver, I guess, at this point. Do you want to stay the course for Port Nine Zaru? I mean, I guess that part of the thing hasn't really changed. If anything else does along the way, I suppose you just let me know.
I mean, we do need to pick up a new guide, so...
There is that.
And if she doesn't die, she'll probably meet us there.
Yeah, I guess.
Also, we need to get what's his name back.
Who?
Stratos.
Yeah.
It wasn't me this time.
All right. But yeah, so we pick things up after the T-Rex encounter. Basically, you guys having just gotten to a point where you're comfortable slowing down the pace a little bit, kind of toward the end of the day. The last hour or so of walking through the jungle before you make camp for the night. And so, I guess one other important thing, the red X on the map, which would have actually been pointed out by our goblin friend Groilmod, is the location of a goblin village by the name of Yelyark.
Yelyark.
Yelyark. So, I think the plan was to sort of skirt around that, but since Nico wasn't around to have that discussion last time, I figured I'd just fill you in real quick. But yeah. So, you survived the T-Rex encounter, and you're safe-ish, as safe as you can be in the jungle once more. Anything you'd like to do as you're just kind of walking out the rest of the day?
I mean, I want to try to find Azaka.
Okay. So, would you like to double back, or just kind of hang out and see if you?
Well, maybe we could just slow our pace.
Okay.
And see if she catches up.
All right.
Is that, I mean, what do other people think of that?
Well,
Fib does not say anything when you suggest.
technically you're leading us because Scorn. So
I
Yeah.
agree.
you could literally slow the pace and none of us could say anything because we can't navigate.
I could navigate. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, very little.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that though. I don't want to just take the reins kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
But yeah, that's fine. We can definitely wait for her.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you slow your pace a little bit.
What's the weather like?
Let's see. That's a thing we rolled for at one point, I think. The weather is way in the hell up there. As of right now, the weather is T-Rex.
Oh, alright.
Holy shit.
Not a fan. Not a fan of this weather. This might be my least favorite weather.
Yeah. We'll say it's rainy. That's kind of the safe go-to.
Alright.
I actually thought today was sunny.
Ugh, that's because you're too happy.
I like the rain.
Ugh.
Thank you very much.
Well, I have 1.6 million Neo points out of my bank.
What if it gets stolen by a ghost?
They're not gonna steal that much. I have 10 million inside the bank, and I
I'm
have
coming to
around
steal
a
it.
million in my shop too. You don't even know my username.
Isn't it Lap Lap?
No.
Dude, you're friends with me on Neopets.
Don't tell him my username.
Oh, boy.
So D&D.
Yes.
I only did it very quickly. It's not my fault they kept talking about it.
All right, so you slow your pace in this kind of rainy, waning daylight, and I guess we'll see. Okay.
Well, we do have her belongings, so we could. I don't know if somebody has a spell to locate her.
It's true. You did very intentionally pick up some scraps of the
Yeah.
hulked
So
out
we-
clothing.
So we can bloodhound her.
Yeah.
We do have a druid.
How many?
One.
I mean, yeah, I can try to bloodhound her.
Weren't you the one who asked for the clothing?
Yeah, I'm just not sure
The-
when I want to start doing that. in
Yeah, the problem
comparison.
is we don't have like a starting point. It'll be like more like, do you smell her on the wind kind of thing.
Yeah, we'd have to go
Oh, you're
back.
doing literal, like, bloodhounding thing.
Oh,
like
I was
thought
talking
you.
about a spell.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Like
Yeah, I
some
don't have
tracker
a spell. For
spell.
that. I don't have a spell,
Oh,
so I'd have
God.
to literally bloodhound.
Wait, you-
Okay, well we could just go back to the spot if we think the T-Rex is gone.
Yeah,
Couldn't our
let's-
druid turn into a dog and just sniff her out?
God.
Yeah, I can do that. So,
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can go back and just keep a weather eye out for T-Rexes.
All right. Yeah, everybody, give me a perception check as you are now very warily walking back in the direction you just came from, having seen a T-Rex.
Oh, thank God somebody rolled good.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
pretty
those are.
much just not you.
Yeah. Yeah. By and large, pretty good rolls.
I only ever noticed the one person with that perception roll.
What? What one person?
Himself.
Yeah, no. Never mind.
Alright.
All right. So yeah, you you head back, and you're pretty sure you can actually see at one point as you're doubling back the point at which the T-Rex kind of diverged from the path that you guys took. You know, just a handful of snapped tree limbs and yeah, just general destruction in its wake. But yeah, so you head back to the clearing where this encounter had happened, and I think actually before you get there, you see kind of coming actually along the path that you guys took, a hulking bipedal tiger person. Yeah, basically seemingly tracking you guys. And so yeah, you see her in the distance and she kind of like looks up and
I wave excitedly.
she's hesitant. She you get the sense that maybe she's not sure how the new form, the new perspective on her might be taken.
I'm still waving excitedly. And slightly jumping up and down.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's
just
one.
Calmly walking towards her. It doesn't really bother me because I
Oh yeah.
transform into critters all the time. So.
Okay.
Then just keep walking towards her.
Yeah, doesn't
Alright.
bother me either.
Okay. And yeah, so she like makes a conscious effort to not close the distance to you guys, if that makes sense. You know, she kind of lets you approach at your own pace.
Right.
And as you you close the distance fully, she like looks at the group of you, and you actually see her kind of slowly begin to like shrink down. And yeah, you know, she has to like fiddle with the now ripped up clothes a little bit to make everything, you know,
I mean,
kind of
can
decent again. But
Can I go into my pack and give her, I think, a spare set of clothes?
oh, that's convenient.
Aren't
Yeah,
you-
so
Oh, I always picture you as really short. You're not short, are you?
I'm 5'4".
Oh,
Yeah,
you
so
are
not like
short.
super short.
Yeah.
I always picture you, I think because of your voice and everything, I picture you as like a halfling or something.
Yeah, that kind of tracks.
Yeah, I have vestments, so I can get from my vestments.
Okay.
I
Okay,
also
so
have
you,
common
yeah,
clothes, but I figure my common clothes are under my mail, so.
fair. Yeah, I mean it's either it's either that or you're wearing the vestments under there. So
Yeah,
okay. So you put
I can give her some spare clothes.
so you put Azaka in the what's basically a priest getup.
Well,
She like drapes the robe over herself, and uh, she'll pass on all the fancy like scarves and draped cloth and all that. But yeah,
Look.
she covers herself up.
I know it's not the most convenient way to travel, but I figured you'd want something.
She says, "This will do. This will do just fine." I wasn't sure I would see you all again.
You killed T-Rex?
I didn't kill it, but well, did my part in driving it away. And she looks at Artis and says, "That magic you cast, I think that may have been key to saving, well, maybe all of our lives. Thank you." He kind of nods and looks down at his hand and doesn't really say anything.
Does he blush a little bit?
I don't think he blushes. That's not a very Artis thing to do. I think he Artis is a gloomy boy, right? I think he's kind of sulky, and so every time he has used one of these like ice related spells, you've seen kind of a almost like a kind of a state of being like sick with what he's done. Like he kind of like casts a lingering gaze down at this ring on his hand, and yeah, he seems just unsettled by having to do it, but he is kind of just dealing with it. So Artis is there, kind of inwardly, inwardly sulking, despite having probably been one of the MVPs of that encounter. But yeah, and then Azaka says, "So this changes things."
What?
Why?
I mean, yeah, you're badass.
I'm just really confused. We need to watch out for T-Rexes more? We're not very perceptive?
When you change to other form, you still in control of your own action, right?
I am.
Then there's no problem.
Good. Well, she looks around at the group, says, "Back to port."
Yeah.
Back to port.
And so your priest attire clad were tiger guide pushes on. And you move on for like the next, probably like an hour or so before it's time to stop and make camp. Which you do. You get all like nice and settled in. And as like the last little bit of daylight is kind of fading away, there may be things. Lucius, you look around, or as you're kind of just sitting there. I mean, I don't think you're like actively keeping an eye out at this point. It's like end of the day, you just kind of like put all your stuff down and are kind of getting set up to rest for the evening. And you just happen to look up into the canopy, trees above, and see a large, kind of reptilian-looking creature. And around it, you can see that there are actually, like, basically wings kind of wrapping itself. Let's see if I can...
And you said it was large?
It's pretty big. It's bigger than you.
Okay.
When we make camp, I'm going to take the time to switch out of my armor and give Azaka my common clothes so I can wear my vestments.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, and so basically, you're looking at a reptilian humanoid kind of thing with these weird, like, scaly but fleshy wings kind of closed over its core, and it's like kind of hunched on this thick tree branch up near the top of at least the visible canopy to you, with this like crested beaked head peering down at you with these like beady yellow eyes.
I will... Is it looking at me, or is it just kind of surveying all of us?
It seems to be like surveying the group.
Alright, I'm going to message Azaka, and I'm going to say, there's some sort of dragon-like creature. Don't make any sudden movements, but see if you can tell what it is. And I'll just kind of, like if she looks over at me, I'm going to subtly point with the finger that I pointed at her up towards the creature. Without taking my eyes off of it.
Okay. Let's see here. Alright. So, yeah, Azaka kind of like slowly works her way over to a point where, you know, she'd be able to kind of follow your sight line there, and doesn't seem to spook the thing. She looks up, not really pausing at all, just kind of scanning the area, and she like turns back around and pretends to kind of like fiddle with something for, you know, like prepping the fire or whatever, and she says under her breath, "Terrafolk."
I will message her and say, what is that? And then I'm going to, without even waiting for a reply, I'm going to message every person and say, we may have a problem. And that's it.
Stop what I'm doing.
Yeah, you've all just gotten the equivalent of the "we need to talk" message. Okay. And Azaka says, "These are the creatures that stole my mask. Probably not this one's brood, but the same type."
What should we do?
It's hard to say how many there will be watching us, but to travel with care and ensure that we don't put ourselves in any compromising positions for them to take advantage of. They like to swoop in and attack from range.
Alright. That being said, I'm going to keep first watch.
Okay. So,
I vote that we watch in pairs tonight because we have enough people.
Alright. Fair point.
Cool.
I will take the last shift.
I have 60 feet of dark vision, so
I
All
do
right.
not have dark vision, so I'll take the,
yeah.
the time when it's getting light. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
So-
with the artist, because I'm assuming he also has dark vision.
Artists. Let's see. Artists would not have dark
Or-
vision.
Or I don't think Scorn does either.
No, I do not.
So one of those two. Or I guess maybe we should each have one with dark vision, one without.
That might
it
make
doesn't
sense.
matter. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. I mean, so what's the order of our watches?
I'll take the second one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we've got Cyrenny. Cyrenny is
course.
morning watch, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I'll say, hey Thorv, you mind taking first watch with me? I had a couple questions about some of the stuff I've seen you do.
Sure, we can do that. Who wants second then?
I'll take second watch.
I'll
do
take the
second watch.
darkest watch.
Of course you will.
I'll do second with Nico.
Nico's not taking a watch. He's just a regular person.
Ryan with Coralmud.
True. Okay. Then I guess by default, as Fib gets up for her darkest watch, she smells ham.
Oh god. I lament to Dragonbait about how horrible the snakes were.
Yeah, he just like gestures to you, like I know, right?
You both have a bonding moment.
No one else understands us.
Okay. And so yeah, as you guys are like in the middle of a decidedly kind of one-way conversation, you're just fucking snakes, right? All of a sudden there's this loud like whoosh and the snapping of some like small twigs and branches, but you're like looking around anticipating something coming for you, but it seems like maybe whatever you heard was just leaving.
What? I look around more. It's leaving. Okay, I'll just keep an eye on it.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do if it's gone. I don't have any magical things. Detect magic. Wait, do I? I don't have anything for that.
Okay. So, yeah, things sober up a little bit. You keep an eye on the trees, and maybe the rest of the watch is a little more tense, but ultimately, nothing really comes of it. You all do get the benefits of a long rest.
Right.
So there's
Yay.
that. And a new day dawns. So let's see what kind of shenanigans we can get into today. Well, first of all, it's still rainy.
So, as we're traveling, I want to try to keep us, based on what we learned about the Terra folk, I want to try to keep us somewhere that would be like just not out in the open. Basically, I want to avoid any open areas or just where the foliage is kind of sparse.
Mhm.
I just want to try to guide us in a path that keeps us covered from them.
Cool. That is
I would
perfectly reasonable.
To playfully splash water on Fib.
Fib at first gets angry and like snaps her head around, and then she sees it gives like an angry smile, like she's upset about it, but she doesn't want to be mean to you.
I just grin and move on.
Becca gets to play a vaguely trolly character for once.
But everyone loves her too much that they can get mad at her.
Okay. Cool. So another rainy day, and you continue on through the wet for an uneventful travel day. Dude. Okay. Next day rolls around, and again you go ahead.
If we feel really wet at night, I will cast Destroy Water.
Oh my god.
Destroy water.
Are you even allowed to cast that?
Yeah, I have Create or Destroy Water.
Okay.
So I destroy the water out of our clothes.
Oh my god.
Okay. So yeah, let's see. I think you guys every now and then might have noticed over the course of the day that there was an occasional large kind of humanoid winged shape that flew overhead. So you gather that perhaps you're still being followed to some degree.
Oh yeah, I would have told everyone about the weird thing I saw.
Yeah,
I just didn't think it was worth waking everyone up. But I didn't want them to know about it.
Okay.
Well, I guess as we're walking, I'm gonna like kind of walk up beside Azaka and say, "Well, why?"
You're like cutting in and out.
Oh, am I? Am I better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
All right. I will walk up next to Azaka and kind of in hushed tones say, "Well, why are these things why is this thing following us? Does it want something, or is it just keeping an eye on us? What is the nature of them following us?"
They're opportunistic hunters. Almost more along the lines of scavengers, really. They wait for things to go wrong and then swoop in and clean up the aftermath. Let's not be the aftermath, yes?
I agree. All right. Would it be worth trying to chase it off, or just ignore it and continue moving?
If I knew it was alone, I'd say that might be wise, but it's hard to say how many we're dealing with. They usually send one or two advanced scouts, but they're usually more waiting further back.
All right. Good to know. And I'm gonna keep my eyes towards the sky
Mm-hmm.
and see if I can. If I just see one, then I may bring something up again. But if I see more than one, I'm going to. I'm just gonna keep that to myself until we rest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean there are times. I think there are multiple times over the course of the day where you would see one swooping by. So I don't know if that's like what you were specifically saying, but
Never seeing more than one though.
I mean
At a
not
time.
like at a given time.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm not gonna. When it comes time to rest, then I'll have something. But
Okay. Well, yeah. So like the end of that day, other than just surveying the skies, kind of comes and you set up camp and still probably can't quite shake that feeling that you're being watched from somewhere.
we're not near enough to the mountains for there to be caves, right?
Not quite, because every hex is like 10 miles.
Okay. So as we set up camp, I'll pull out the map and I'm gonna pull Scorn and Azaka over, and I'll pull everybody over if they want, but mainly those two because they're navigating us. And I will say, I think maybe from where we are, we should go here and continue and see if we can find a cave or something that we can take refuge in and maybe try to deal with this issue.
Is that the red line you drew?
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna turn towards Zaka. Do they? I feel like they would like living in the mountains more. Do you think would enter their territory more if we went that way?
Well, the ones that I've dealt with in the past have taken up residence in Firefinger, which is a large spire sticking out of the jungle. It does seem like a good fit for them.
The only reason I suggest a cave is...
Firefinger or mountains?
Well, both. High altitudes, plenty of opportunity to grab prey and fling it from great heights.
We need more branches and canopy and trees to cover us from these, not less. We go towards mountain, we see less woods.
Well, I figured if we put something above our heads that these things can't go through, we might have a shot at either hurting them or killing them and chasing them off, perhaps.
Well, you mean you can only fly through the jungle canopy so fast? It's pretty thick.
Yeah, I'm just worried if we have another encounter like we did with that giant dinosaur that we might get separated and they may latch on to one of us.
I mean, I'm confused. I feel like, we're not going to be able to walk. The caves will only help us at night.
Well, I was saying we detour, find a cave, and then take out our tail, and then continue.
Well, we don't know how far behind they're following. If there's a lot, then we'll be stuck in the cave.
Well, I've been keeping an eye out, and I've only seen one today. I can't tell if it's the same one, but they only ever send one.
Yeah, well, if they don't return... you only see one. That doesn't mean they're not farther behind, just out of view.
Cave might be opportunity they're waiting for.
Fair point. I just figured I'd bring it up.
I think we should stay in the jungle.
All right.
At least against them.
Okay. The next option is, do you think we should try to lure them closer to the Goblin Village and maybe try to shake them at the Goblin Village?
I'm not sure. Like,
Yeah.
I'm no battle tactician, but I don't necessarily want to approach and be sandwiched in between things that want to hurt us.
Alright.
Perhaps
Yeah.
goblins probably send out patrols, hunting parties, things like this. Maybe I think we'd be okay engaging a small group of goblins.
Well, and I figured, with them being opportunistic vulture-like, if we wound a goblin force, maybe they'll drop the tail on us and attack the goblins instead, and we can slip away.
Yes. I think this tactic may have good payoff, perhaps.
Well, I don't want to hurt the goblins that haven't done anything to us.
Not yet, but...
Well, we got like a week till we get there.
A fair point. I just figured I'd...
Maybe they'll disappear or attack us sometime in between.
The other thought, too, is we're not too far from Camp Vengeance. We could go back
Oh no.
and
Right.
cut through that way. Because that way we would get out of the mountain area and we can cut through known lands that we've traveled.
I don't mind going through known lands, but I'm not going back to Camp Vengeance.
No, I'm just saying we can cut by there.
I'm not sure how even close I want to go. They also have scouts.
Yeah, I wonder about their organization now that, well...
Their second command seemed a lot more capable
Yeah,
than their commander.
but he also seemed like he was a lot more rational as well.
He was a firebeard after all.
Well, I also think meeting up with some scouts or patrol from Camp Vengeance would probably end better than with Goblin Tribe. Didn't hang on a sec? Didn't Grimwald say something about these goblins, like that they are dangerous or hostile or whatever?
What all would Groymod like to disclose about his fellow Batiri?
Me kind of got in trouble, so they kind of have a kill on sight thing with me.
What'd you do?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess best to avoid Goblin Village then.
How close can we get, do you think, without running into one of them?
How sneaky are you?
Not very.
Not very
How-
close then.
Is our current path, do you think, far enough away?
I mean, we could, just kind of skirt Camp Vengeance, I think, and then end up on the other side of the river around Camp Righteous.
Like if we went like this.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking.
That'd be fine with me.
Alright. So I will plot that course for them then.
Okay.
I mean, we still have a while, so if we still have a tail, we can always check in at Camp Righteous, I guess. Maybe lose it there, if we have to.
They
Not Camp
might
Vengeance,
live in mountains, so maybe we go far enough from mountain they not even follow.
That was what I was thinking too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, everyone put hand in. And on
Why?
3 we say go team. I learned this from Treehugger.
Hmm.
Does anyone else put their hand in?
Yeah, I'll put my hand in.
I will do.
I put my hand in, but
I guess if Fib does, I do as well.
Gromon's basically like hopping up and slapping the top of your hands and then like landing again.
1, 2, 3, go team.
Go team.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Go team!
Oh my god, what's wrong? Is he like a dog?
He was
You had to
jumping.
jump up and down.
Jumping, yeah. Get his cardio in.
3 something?
Yeah, 3 something.
Wow, Fib is over twice the height of Groymon.
And 3'4".
Well, he's a goblin. He's tiny.
I mean, you're only 2 feet shorter than I am.
I'm only 4 feet, so.
You're a dwarf. It's the same thing.
I
You're
feel
small.
like we had like 2 tiers of hands, like one short and one like if we weren't touching each other's hands, we just had like a stack of hands.
And you're like, yeah. To like turn our hands like vertical instead of to, like,
Okay. So yeah, we'll say like start of the new day, right? You kind of like plot your course, and let's see what the new day is looking like. Oh, the rain gets heavier.
Also, more importantly, what did dragon bait smell like during that whole thing?
What a stand then.
Asking the
Damn.
important questions.
Yes.
Let's see. What did dragon bait smell like? Do. Dragon bait would have smelled like complicated. I suppose you get a smell of wood smoke.
All right.
Huh.
Yeah. Just smells like a campfire.
Okay.
That
I
sounds
love
like
this.
very
Sounds like what?
companionable.
Companionable?
Yeah.
What were you saying, John?
I love that smell. It's a good
Ah.
smell.
Okay. But yeah, so, huddle up in the morning, chart the course. It's raining like crazy. And so you begin on the modified course here. So, yeah, you travel, kind of veering off a little bit more toward Camp Vengeance, cutting through the woods, and at, I don't know, probably the 3-hour mark or so, you hear like shouting back and forth up ahead. Hard to make out exactly what's being said at this point, but they sound like raspy voices, kind of just outright yelling at one another.
Can I
In-
catch a language?
Yeah. Is it something we can decipher?
Maybe. Let's have
Like,
a look.
I'm not even trying to hear what it's saying. I just want to know what language it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would like to know if it's something I don't understand. I'm gonna do that, and then I will
Okay.
understand it.
Okay. So, all right. So I will say that anybody who wants to listen for it, make a perception check.
Oh, the tides have turned.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. All right.
I got above a 10.
That you did. Okay, so you all hear varying degrees of echoing, raspy voices up ahead. I think Lucius, with your heightened sense of perception in the current moment, you can kind of distinguish the sounds, but they certainly aren't registering as words to you. So you go ahead and cast Comprehend Languages, and suddenly it's like you're listening to like 3 or 4 Groil mods arguing back and forth with one another.
All right. I will message Groilmod and say, I think this is your kin that's yelling, and then I will kind of quietly relay that to the rest of the group. But I'll kind of like motion for Groilmod if he wants to like get up a little closer to hear what's going on, and I'll just listen in, but I'll let him translate.
Okay.
I
and
see.
so,
Alright, so yeah, I'll listen.
yeah.
You can return messages, right?
Yes, you can respond once to each of those.
Okay, so I just say, yeah, there are no fearbolg on this peninsula. What are you talking about? My kid no here.
No, I messaged that to Groilmod, and then I just kind of gestured for everybody to come in close and just verbally told you guys.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right. And yeah, so as you're listening in on the conversation, we kind of like, smash cut to like the middle of it, where it's like, one of these little masked goblins is like he like slaps another one across the face and says, "You took the last lizard foot."
Oh.
And he like looks back and says, I don't know which he did it, and points at some other goblin like sitting off in the corner. And then we see this one just kind of like sitting there minding his own business, and we hear like the crunching of like slightly heavier footfalls as the camera like kind of pans up, and you see this like especially like kind of fat, husky looking goblin that, like, walks up and just like Sparta kicks this one off the tree stump he's sitting on and like takes his spot. And the one like scurries to get up, and he's in this like combat stance, right? But then he looks and he sees like who it is, and he just kind of like turns and walks by the other two and like kind of shoulders past them. But yeah, so that's what's going on up ahead.
So I will relay kind of what's going on. Honestly, I think they're fighting over food. So
It's a good thing to fight over.
I'll just kind of look over to Gromod and say, well, it's your people, so do you want to avoid them, or should we approach and try to be diplomatic?
Me think they just scout, so we could probably talk to them. It probably wouldn't be a big deal.
Alright. Do you want to
Are
talk
you-
to them?
Are you fine with us killing them if things go wrong? Or
Yeah,
That's the way
me
these
fine
things
with that.
usually go.
okay.
Why do we need to? Can we just avoid them? Like,
They're kind of
Or we can go say hi.
Yeah.
And possibly kill them.
Killing is always an option.
let's.
They're very far out from the village anyway, so... I mean, maybe they're just lost and need a pointer in the right direction.
But why do we need to talk to them? Nah, we can talk to them.
We could take their food.
Well, they,
Sounds like they have food.
We
no,
have
they-
food as well. Why we
Yeah.
need to take their food?
I don't
You could
think
always
they
use
They
our
arguing
food.
about eating lizard.
I mean,
food.
it
Why
sounded like they
lizard
had food, but then another one ate it.
Yeah. Maybe we can get in the good graces of them.
Why?
I don't know. Have them help us. Have we had the tail today? Like the terror
What?
folk? The terror folk.
Oh,
You might have noticed it fly overhead once or twice, yeah.
Alright, I'll say, well, maybe we could interact with them. They're loud. Maybe they will do us a favor. Indirectly, of course, but... could lose our eye in the sky.
Yes, I agree with this idea.
Worst case scenario, we kill them and leave them for the vultures.
I don't know why you're so obsessed with killing them. They haven't done anything yet.
That's just how things seem to go.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean,
they do want to kill Groymog.
Well,
Me heard that.
Alright.
I don't want to kill Groymod. Not anymore, at least.
No,
No,
they want
Fib-
to.
Yeah, Fib say they want to kill Gromon. Fib
Oh,
actually
I totally
visualized
thought you
it.
said that you wanted to kill Greg.
Yeah, I thought that she said that as well.
Why would I want to kill Groymog?
I don't know.
Because you're
I
Fib.
don't know,
like,
you
I
and
don't
your
know.
Darkest Night thing kind of.
Because you literally just said killing is always an option. So.
That doesn't mean I always want it to be the option. I mean, most often I do, but not all the time.
Okay. So, yeah, what's the plan?
What is plan?
Do you want to approach them, Gromod, or do you think that we should and you should stay back?
Me stay back just in case.
He literally just said they want to kill him.
Well, he also said that they were scouts and they may not be
I
quite
mean,
as...
is this your same tribe that wants to kill you?
Me not sure.
How can you not be sure? Look at them.
I
Are they
mean-
from your tribe?
I can't know for sure. Like, I didn't know everyone.
I'll look at Fib and say, not everybody looks as unique as you do.
What do you mean?
And I just kind of, at this point, you just see the camera look at Fib up and down.
It does like a full body shot and then
Yeah.
pans back to you and does the gym zoom.
Yes. I'll say, alright, well, since I understand what they're saying, I guess I'll lead in there.
Are any of us able to speak with them before we leave Gromod here?
No.
Well, maybe we should have Gromod just kind of hiding out in the trees nearby. Ooh, actually, I have an idea. I can understand them. Well, I guess I don't. There really wouldn't be a way for you to speak up without... You know what? Yes, Gromod, how about you stand behind Scorn? And I will act like I'm speaking, but you respond to them.
I could get in someone's backpack.
Yes. Ooh, that might be rough for me. I'm not the strongest.
He's not much bigger than me, so I can't hide him.
Scorn? Do you want to be the front man? I'll stand next to you and whisper to you what they're saying.
I don't understand the point of doing this, but doesn't seem dangerous. So okay.
Well,
So we know
Scorn
we can
only
reply to them.
understand. He can't.
Do I need to open my mouth as if I am speaking?
Just stand there and kind of act like you're talking.
So, yes.
Yeah.
How good is your performance skill?
Well, let's do a quick test.
All right. I'll go like 10 feet back and then look at Scorn and just kind of wait for Gromod to say something.
Should I just do a performance check?
Sure.
Me think this plan weird and maybe a little too complicated, but is this working for you?
I mean, that's kind of how all of our plans
So how well do I think this is gonna work?
I mean, like, it's so a 10 is kind of like middle of the road. Like,
Like,
kinda
Scorn's
weird.
Expression doesn't change or anything.
yeah.
But
Do we have like a
his
scarf
mouth is-
we can tie over his mouth? Just so that he doesn't look like he's talking?
Oh yeah, Sirenny, didn't you have a bunch of scarves? And-
I have a sash for my vestment.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So we'll wrap
Right.
Scorn's
Yeah.
mouth with it. Which is funny because we're in the frickin' jungle and you're wearing a scarf.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know.
I also am wearing it, so I kind of have to unclothe a bit to get it to you.
Well, this scarf is very fashion forward. So maybe goblins just think I fashionista.
You're a very worldly giant.
Thank you. Let's hope goblins agree, I guess. Okay, hang on. Let me empty out my backpack. And I guess you can get in there. Make sure you can breathe. But do not poke holes in my backpack. Just open it
Yeah.
if you can't breathe.
Get the flap open. He's just like standing in it.
Yeah.
So me shouldn't do this, and then I just pretend I'm dead with my head hanging out of his back.
I would not.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try not to fall asleep.
Well, you're going to be responding to them, so I hope you don't.
That's yeah. I don't know.
Wait.
Sometimes
what?
Goblin's boring.
Now, this isn't a reference. What is planned?
What have planned?
We're just going to go talk to them,
Yes.
basically.
Why are we shoving someone in a backpack?
Because none of us speak the language other than
Oh,
Groilmod.
God.
And we want him to speak to them, but they can't see him.
Yes.
Okay.
It surprisingly it makes sense. It's just really weird.
Yeah.
And probably completely unnecessary.
I mean, yeah, but
You know, that's what we're doing.
yeah.
Alright, I
Okay.
guess. Okay. Roll mods. I'll mount it up, then I guess, you know, I got the sash on. Maybe, how many of us are approaching? Because we want enough that they maybe, if they do start issue with us, we can handle it.
I'm definitely going with you.
Same.
I'll go.
Why can't we all go?
I think I'm going.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was still thinking we were leaving Guarmod behind.
No,
But
I think we
now
should
that we're
all
all
go.
going. Okay, cool. Let's go then.
Wait,
All right.
Groilmod, how many people are there in this group?
Me think me heard 3 voices?
No, I mean in our group. I'm trying to see if Groilmod can count.
I guess I never really counted before. There's 5, not including me, right?
Okay.
Something like that. I mean, like, I guess there's the NPCs to think about too. So,
Yeah,
Artist,
makes-
Dragonbait, Azaka.
That was honestly more of Lucius trying to figure out if literally if goblins can count. So
Wow, that's
That's not racist.
well,
Not at all. That's fine.
We don't
Okay.
care if you're a beast, but you know.
But we're racist against goblins.
I mean, you know what they say about being green, so.
It ain't easy.
Okay. So the whole crew comes strolling out of the woods, of course, except for Grelmod, who comes being backpacked out of the woods.
Gently bounced out of the woods.
Yes. All right. So yeah, you do that. You know, just roll up like full show of power, basically. And yeah, there's still like a couple of goblins like bickering and like they're like to the point of like rolling around on the ground and like slapping each other.
Oh my god.
There's another one who's like off like whittling a little spear, and then there's this like
To use
really
against
like
them.
fat one sitting on a tree stump. What'd you say?
To use against them that are arguing.
But yeah, so you enter the clearing, and this is what you see. And the two that aren't in the middle of like beating the shit out of each other just kind of like stop and like look up at you. The one who's like carving the spear kind of like points the half done thing at you. And you just hear this like, ah!
I wave my hand.
Hello.
In Goblin, of course.
Yes.
Okay. The one with the spear still like holds it with one hand, and then like kind of slowly raises a hand, like waves, says, "Hello? Who are you?"
My name Corn.
Hand on my chest. I like to point to myself.
This,
Who you?
me, Rudolk. And he kind of like cocks his head and looks at Scorn. You're big.
Me eat lots of lizard feet.
I rub my belly.
So I guess the question though, okay, here's what I think we should do. Every time Goromod has to respond, we should have Scorn emote first because he doesn't actually know what's being said.
Oh, that's true.
I'm very-
Oh, you're right.
And I think that's just gonna make it even better.
Yep.
But yeah, so okay, lots of lizard feet. Says, you know where I could find some around here?
I like wag my finger, you know.
I kind of ate the last one I saw.
By the way, I am messaging what they say to, because I can still understand what they say. I'm messaging it to
Okay.
Scorn.
Okay.
So there would still be like a buffering phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Huh?
Then he doesn't have to emote first, he can emote after.
Yeah. Okay. So it says, well, try not to eat all of them, okay? Like, I already got to deal with these guys, and he just like shakes his head, like,
Me no make any promises.
And I kind of shake my head, like, oh no, and like squint my eyes a little, you know.
says, hey, Corn, I got a question.
Okay, what question?
Why does it sound like your voice comes out of your butt?
You know that camp nearby? Well, not nearby. It's kind of a far walk. Anyway, they had a mage, and I made him. Those big squishy folks, they get real sensitive.
So at this point, he gets up, and he's still got his spear in his hand, right? He kind of approaches Scorn cautiously. He looks around, and he begins to circle around back behind you.
I pivot to like
What you doing?
At this point, I'm gonna cast Unseen Servant over in the bushes, and I'm gonna have the bushes shake, and I'll point, and I'll message Scorn and say, "Quick, say lizard."
lizard.
Shit! Wrong person, but whatever.
Wait, you have two voices, and you speak human?
This is all falling apart.
I'm just scratching my head at this point because I really don't know what to do.
Every once in a while, the curse lifts a little bit, but then I can't speak goblin and I speak human instead.
It just, everyone else just heard me randomly yell lizard.
Yeah. So bear in mind, you've got goblin voice, sounds like this, and then you've got fucking Scorn voice, lizard.
I'd
Okay,
like to
so-
note the last thing on the chat. This is working out better than I expected.
All right. So he like he looks at Scorn and says, "Ah, that's weird." And then you hear this this other voice from like across the clearing. That's bullshit.
Hey, walk a kilometer in my shoes and see how it feel.
So at this point, the two on the ground have like stopped fighting, and they're just like tangled up in goblin knots, looking up at the group. Your friend with the spear is just kind of standing by, and then like the chubby goblin is like standing up off the stump, just, and he begins to like waddle over, and says, "Corn."
Yes.
Giants have stupid names. What's in the bag, Corn?
What bag? How does he know there's a bag?
You could probably see the backpack straps. Oh, you know, shinies and stuff that I found in my travels.
Okay, so Chubby Goblin starts like walking around behind Scorn again.
Now you like just kind of back up. So that, like,
At this point, I'm gonna have my unseen servant just walk over and stand in the way so that it just runs into the unseen servant.
Okay.
That won't be suspicious at all.
And then as soon as it runs into it, I'm gonna have it just go, like, move somewhere else.
Okay. So yeah, it starts like walking around Scorn and then just and like kind of like pauses for a second and like swipes at the air and there's nothing there. Shrugs, keeps going. Okay, starts circling around Scorn. Is Scorn still like backing away?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll step up beside Scorn. Just so that
Alright.
he's having more difficulty walking around.
All right. The one with the spear is like, wait. So do you all speak human?
Does he say that in human?
Yeah, in
I
common.
forgot that we were all there.
Yeah, you've all been just watching this.
We've all just been staring as this happened.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? Like,
Yeah.
I'll nod and just say, I understand Goblin. I cannot speak it.
I'll speak back in Dwarvish.
I just feel like, I speak common.
Okay, and they look around like acknowledging as everybody says stuff in common, except Thorv, who they kind of look at like the fuck. And okay, so then the one with the spear is like, we can talk in your human language if that's better.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the fat one's like, and pull whatever that is out of your backpack.
after I get a translation, I shake my head no.
At this point, I'll step up and I'll say, well, we overheard you saying you needed food. Or at least that you were low on food. We might be able to help with that.
The fat one says, we Batiri don't need help. We survived this long. Been alive 3 whole months. Never starved to death yet.
Wow.
Wow.
You're 3 months old?
Yeah. almost ready to retire.
Oh my lord.
How long do you live?
And he like looks around and kind of laughs with the other the other goblins. Like, these guys have no idea. But yeah, and he just kind of like shrugs it off and says, "We don't need food, but no like secrets."
Shit.
Me no keeping secret. Me just got cursed.
I'll say, well, if we're not keeping a secret, and I'm gonna touch my head, and I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself and make myself look like a goblin.
Okay.
So, and I'll say,
An
continuing in
absurdly tall
common.
goblin.
Huh?
An absurdly tall goblin.
No, I'm not like super tall. I'm like maybe 2 or 3 inches taller than you. Like
That's
naturally,
still a pretty
so
tall goblin.
I can do. What was it? I think it's
A couple inches.
1 foot shorter or taller.
Still
So
pretty
I
tall
think
for a
it's
goblin.
A little bit tall, but tall and skinny.
Okay.
I'll say.
So you do that.
I'll say I am actually a goblin. In common, but
Okay. Make a deception check.
sure.
All right. Sounds like kind of a tall goblin.
Yes, I've.
So hold on. What does your goblin form look like?
It's kind of like a cross between the spear wielder and Groymod.
Okay. And what does your mask look like then? Because all the Batiri goblins wear like.
I don't have a mask. It's just
Mm.
I just look like a goblin.
Okay.
And
Cool.
Yes, I will say. I have come to this land to stop a curse.
But not my curse.
No, he's second curse.
Wait, is Groma speaking in common now?
I am, yeah.
I can react much quicker.
Okay. And he says, "A curse."
Yes. A curse of, unfortunately, the common folk. The humans. And I'll kind of sneer. They gave me this curse.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's for all species. But
And I'll just kind of glare at Serenade. And I'll say,
I just kind of shrug.
the curse I came to stop is the humans in the camp, and I'll pull out my map and point at Camp Vengeance. The humans in that camp are making goblins different. How many goblins do you know that can cast spells? Can do this? And I'm just going to point off in the distance, and I'm going to toll the dead like a tree.
Okay.
Just kind of make it, make the leaves explode or whatever.
Has the tree taken damage yet?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Lightning bolt struck it last night.
Okay. So yeah, you do that, and let's see here. Okay. So yeah, they all kind of like turn and they squint their eyes, like, whoa. Then they all kind of like refocus on the group, and the one with the spear is like, but like, talking out of your butthole though.
That happened here, and I'll point at Umbala.
Send goblins everywhere.
Yes! Why not?
Okay. Make another deception check.
Alright, I'm okay with this. Please be good.
Okay. So the with the spear is just like, old lady would never do that. She nice.
No, Mambala, not Orlunga. Is that
No,
it?
old lady nice.
Oh.
Well, she did this to me. Or no.
Well, you probably you
That's
probably
fine.
deserved it.
Probably.
Me had a little too much to drink and was kind of rude, so yeah, I probably did deserve it. It's still not great.
Wait, which one of you? What?
Confused all of them. Good. I'll point at Camp Vengeance and say, this was what happened to me. And then I'll point at Mbala and say, this happened to him. Sorry. Sometimes the spell wears off on me. I get confused.
Okay, at this point, like, the goblins are all kind of like retracting into a group.
That's fine.
Like, they clearly don't trust you.
I'll just, well, while they're retracting into a group, I'll just say, I heard voice of goblins and thought I would come and see some of my own kin. I mean you no harm, and I will leave if I make you uncomfortable.
The the four of them kind of like look at each other, and yeah, the fat one's like, yeah, you should probably go, but what's in the bag?
I'll message Gorlmod and say, help?
Well, if you want us to leave, you won't be able to find what's in the... You can't choose both.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like
Yep.
through the bag. I nudge Scorn in the back so that he'll like reach back to grab something, and then I'll just like hand him whatever feels kind of bulky and heavy.
So yeah, I reach like over my shoulder, and I
And then
back because I think he's just messing with me and it annoys me. So I'm just like,
when I feel his hand, I like force something into it.
but I emptied the bag so you could fit in there.
Oh, you took everything out?
Yeah.
I guess you can
there's
give me
that.
something that you have.
I just.
I take off my shirt and I hand it to him.
Okay, so I just pull the shirt.
And then when I
like
think
kind
it's, I said,
Sorry,
when I
go ahead.
think you're holding it in front of you, I say, me can't even fit an old shirt anymore.
I like hold it in front of me with my fingers and make a well, and just kind of shake my head because I can't frown if they won't see.
Okay. um. So the fat one's like, oh, that's sad. You were Batiri?
Me were Batiri, yeah.
I nod.
What name? Corn, not goblin name.
Doyle Neuro. I definitely tried saying my name backwards and then kind of messed up the ending there.
Okay. Ah. Not know you, but heard weirder names, heard weirder stories.
That must have been a real weird story.
Those. All right. Go on. We not stop you again.
I will.
Thank you. It was nice talking.
I'll just nod and kind of start backing away.
I'll wave and say, I hope you find more lizards.
Yeah, the one with the spear like kind of waves. But yeah,
Fib just rolls her eyes.
okay. All right, and so yeah, I guess you go your separate ways.
Wow, this game.
I blew through
This
3
game.
spells.
Absolutely nothing.
What? Did we get anything from that? Anything at all?
A whole lot of nothing.
The only thing we
won't
could have
stop
got,
us again.
we just missed out on, like, because they said the lady was nice. We could have asked more about that. Because maybe she is nice.
Yeah, but they were fixated on the backpack.
Mhm.
I so badly wanted to say something, but
I mean, you did, and it didn't help.
well, because I was just sort of trusting, because I'm like, deception and talking to people is not my thing. So when we're in a situation, I just kind of listen to whoever else is doing stuff. So I was just trying to do a good job. So, and also, John, as a person, was like, I know he didn't mean to say that to me, but like, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah,
You know,
that was.
like, so,
That was
Wait,
complete-
which one?
That was
Lizard.
when he
completely
told me
fine.
to say lizard, I was like, I know he didn't mean
Oh.
that,
Yeah.
but like, I'm definitely just gonna lizard.
You know what? And it worked out. That was so much better than I would have hoped.
Oh god.
All
Yeah, I
right,
definitely
so
go back to get my stuff though.
okay.
I mean, I let him get it. I don't like grab his head and pull him out and give him his shirt. I give him his shirt back.
Thank you.
Fisher.
Did
Try
this
to
go well? Was plan good? I don't know.
I don't know what we try to get out of that, but at least we weren't caught.
I guess no one died.
Yeah. Once we're out of eye shot, I drop the disguise, and I'll say, well, I was hoping maybe we could get some information out of them and find out whether they were part of the village or whether they were just out on their own, but they were so fixated on what was in the backpack.
Well, I guess I don't know. Now we know we can kind of pull this off again in the future if we need to.
Do we?
Chalk that one up in a solid like maybe category.
Yeah.
Need some work.
I mean, it proved we have decent teamwork, so it was a team building exercise.
I'd say we learned a few things and gained some experience with
Whoa!
You might have
Because we defeated the goblins.
We didn't.
with your words.
Yes.
Yay! It's always
Right.
better than our fists.
Well,
Is that how
That's why I have a sword.
is that how Fib really feels?
Oh, that's not how Fib feels at all. Fib was a little sad that she didn't get to cut up any goblins.
has Fib cut up anything?
I just got the ability from our 3rd level.
Ah. We'll get something.
I need to buy a weapon so I can actually use.
Okay. So, yeah, you continue on past that little area and kind of in a general Camp Vengeance Word direction. And the rest of the day goes by uneventfully. And so, move. Whoop. That's your line. Let's not move that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's move
Did not expect.
that. Okay. Cool. So, long rest. Get your spells back.
Yay!
Yay!
You know where like your like the top of your chest meets the other half, like top half of your chest, like
Kinda.
3
You mean the
inches.
Sure.
Your the hollow of your throat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
just cracked that.
What?
Lovely.
Becca,
Don't do that, please.
Yeah.
It felt nice.
I'm
Stop
like, I
hurting
have
yourself.
like both hands over my neck now to protect it.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
No, below your neck.
It's
It's
I'm
like your
covering everything
collarbone.
right now.
No, below your collarbone.
Oh.
what did I
I'm
say
so
about
scared, I
you
don't
two
know.
fighting?
It's like I said,
You haven't
3
said that in a
inches
long
below
time.
the hollow.
It's still true.
Oh, 3. That's just your chest.
Yeah,
Becca.
when your chest meets the other half of your chest.
I only have one chest.
Yeah, I don't have 2 halves of a chest.
Do you
Becca,
have
you
ribs?
know we're not
Are they on
actually
either
characters,
side?
right?
Hey,
Talking
We're
about your
not
the
these
sternum?
fictional characters.
you mean like right where the ribs, or right where the sternum ends?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I'm
sure
concerned for
our
your
one listener
skeletal
will
structure.
be able to tell us
I
exactly.
don't know how
Yeah,
to
they'll leave it in the comments.
like. How do I describe
Point on the
this?
diagram where the bad man hurt you.
This was a different type of role playing tonight, folks.
I don't even know what's
Yeah.
happening tonight.
I don't
Nobody
know
knows what's
either.
happening tonight.
What is tonight?
Here.
Goblins and backpacks and
Well,
Oh
can-
my god.
Yeah.
is it one of the
Change
3
color.
red bones?
Oh, what color should I use? I use black.
No, why would you use black? Use pink.
Here. On Killboy shirt.
What? Get out of Killboy!
I'm
What?
putting the dot where I cracked.
Killboy is too powerful for your regular human straining stuff.
Well, that's the point. That's
So
all
about
I
the
read.
encounter for today.
Mhm.
encounters. You encounter a cracked sternum.
We kill it.
Yeah.
Yay,
Okay.
we win.
Hooray.
Cool. So, anyway, after you get your long rest in, after the whole goblin thing, the next day is dry and sunny.
Oh.
Ugh.
And also uneventful. So, move you guys there,
I sprinkle water on Fib again.
Mhm.
of course.
That's why Fib can't be mad. Oh no, dang it, I lost this game.
Lost to D&D.
I'm
Terry attack.
Okay. So, continuing on, the next day,
dun-dun-dun.
overnight, it goes from dry and sunny to holy shit, it's a tropical storm again. You're gonna blow away and drown all this
Ouch.
stuff at the same time. It's terrible. Okay, so yeah, it's a tough day. Gonna try and travel, or do you want to just hunker down? Well,
I am in my element.
yeah. But yeah, travel or hunker down or some combination thereof.
Does it seem dangerous?
Well, in-game terms, if you travel on this day, you will gain a point of exhaustion.
Oh,
I don't like that.
I would rather just stay put.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just hunker.
We
Okay.
call in to our jobs and let them know we're not going to be able to make it.
Yep, I'm like, sorry, I'm not going in when there's so much snow.
I take
I
this
can't get out of the
time
driveway.
to, I don't know, worship my god.
Cool.
I guess I'll just like worship my god. Whatever.
I guess I don't
I
have
guess.
a god. Almost.
Okay. So, yeah, you look around and, let's see. I mean, I think around here you probably find, like, let's see. What did you be able to find? Not a whole lot. Probably really more along the lines of, like, finding a slightly raised area to sort of hunker down just under the cover of. So, all in all, not the greatest situation, but
Better than nothing.
better than nothing. Until
I ask
you-
for some of the unseen servants.
okay.
What do you need an unseen servant for?
To massage her feet over nothing.
No, why not have something if we're just gonna be sitting here all day?
You're sitting in the mud.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
And you're
Okay.
sitting in the dirt.
Yeah.
Got him.
Cool. So,
I got no unseen servant then.
yeah. All right. So you hunker down and you're like hiding in what cover you can find, and through the pouring
Fire and
rain.
flames.
No, there's no fire and flames. It's not that kind of tropical storm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I defeat the tropical storm.
Yeah.
That was
With-
an XP for everyone.
Yay! You're welcome.
Hooray.
But yeah, so it's through the rain and whatnot, you see a large quadrupedal form coming your way
No.
Is it a T-Rex?
on four legs.
That's not quad.
Yes.
T-Rex
Are you
is
making
bear
fun of
crawling through
them?
the woods.
Its forehead is just scraping on the ground.
Yeah.
Aw. Becca, you're so mean.
But doesn't it sound funny?
Make fun of the poor
I'm trying to
T-Rex.
find an image of that.
So no, it's considerably smaller than a T-Rex. It is actually very reminiscent of Azaka, except on four legs.
So it's a human.
Yes, it's a four-legged human. four leg walking, quadrupedal walking human.
We're so good at this.
That's
yeah.
so creepy.
No, it's a tiger.
Hey, look
Oh,
at the
yeah.
tiger. Oh no, you've been devoured by a jelly blob.
What?
What is happening right now?
I don't know. Whatever drugs you've had tonight, I want some.
It's all of us. Whatever drugs all of us have had.
But yeah, so this tiger is like coming towards you guys, probably seeking shelter, much in the same way that you did.
Ooh, we could kill it. Skin it.
That's certainly a possibility.
Probably
But then,
make sure it's not a were-tiger first.
Eh,
Also maybe a good idea.
Zaka mad.
It's Azaka. Well, Azaka's with us right now, right?
Yeah, she's with you, and seeing the tiger approach, I think she actually like she shifts to her tiger form.
Show out. Do you know this guy?
I look at I look at Fib and I say, "Do you talk to tigers a lot lately? Like, is this a normal thing?"
Yeah, and for the record,
Much?
Azaka's in like full tiger form, like 4 legs, not like
That's fine.
hulking hybrid tiger person form.
We all know who it is.
Right,
Also
I'm just
transform
saying this is
into
what
a
you're
tiger.
talking to, so the whole conversation thing. Yeah. But
I'm gonna-
no,
Does
so-
she
Also,
not have like a brain now? She doesn't understand.
I mean, I'm
anymore?
just saying she's probably not gonna like turn around and as a tiger talk back to you in a Azaka voice, like,
I'm just making.
yeah,
I'm
this is
trying.
a good friend of mine.
Right, I don't need an answer. I'm just assaulting her.
Because they all know each other. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
You so reductive.
um,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
also transform into a tiger since now I can do that.
Aww,
oh, okay.
I'm so happy for you guys. You get to be kitties.
The 3 of us are gonna run off and start our own thing.
Aww,
Be tiger people together.
I wanna come.
No, but I think I just want to try to get a sense, like a better idea of what's going on. So I'm not. I'm gonna stand back, let Azaka deal.
Okay. So yeah, there's a moment of like the low rumbling growls that that a tiger makes, but like back and forth, almost in a conversational kind of manner.
How about that? They're having a conversation.
But you don't know what they're saying. Okay. So
I know what they're saying.
okay.
Does comprehend languages work?
Technically, this is not a language, so no.
Alright. Good enough.
But yeah, more or less, what you're getting out of this is Azaka is saying that the tiger can take shelter by you guys, but basically you and the lot of you companions of hers are well, off limits, obviously.
To be eaten.
Yeah, basically saying you touch them, you die, kind of thing. And so, yeah, without any real language reference or conversational reference, apart from Groil mods, at least, the 3 tigers then return to the main group, and
Wait, 3? I thought you said there was 1.
well, there's Azaka, there's the tiger, and then there's the druid tiger. I mean, I guess I assumed that he returned. He might just leave and do his own thing. He didn't.
Well, yeah. When you said return to the group, I thought you meant a group of like they returned to a
No.
group of tigers.
Like so. No, 3 tigers join up with you guys.
Okay.
Can Squirm
Oh,
understand
kitties.
tiger when he's a tiger?
No,
Okay. So you're just
I can
there
speak
for
to
it.
the tiger, but he can't. I can't understand what it's saying.
Okay. So yeah, there's the group, and then there's the 3 tigers all kind of just huddled pretty close under this cover as the storm is like raging and ripping branches and leaves off of trees and just
Because
pummeling the place with water. Yeah.
Well, I said once we get back, I transform back, and
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I was just kind of trying to see what was going on because I want to understand tigers
Yeah.
better, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, but once they
Do you have a
just kinda-
crush on Azaka?
No.
I'm gonna cast Animal Friendship on this tiger.
And it will be your Stratos.
So as long as its intelligence is not 4 or higher, it has to make a wisdom check.
Okay. So its intelligence is not 4 or higher.
All right, so it is a DC of 12.
Wisdom check. Okay. All right. That's an 11.
Nice.
All right. So I walk up to it and I give it a hug and I turn to the group and I say, "This is Tobin. He's fantastic."
Okay, and yeah, the tiger just kind of like leans into it a little bit.
The tiger loves it.
Okay. So yeah, this is the next 24 hours?
Sure is.
Okay.
God.
So yeah, you have a tiger friend, and the rest of the day goes by. I mean, I don't want to say uneventfully because there's a tiger and there's a tropical storm, but nothing else tries to kill you or approach you or anything like that today. So long rest, spells back,
Right.
all of that good stuff, and let's get you moving again. All right. There. And the next day is still rainy, and there's like a heat, but it's not tropical storm level rain anymore. So it's just like a hot, sticky day.
Hot shower. Day.
Hot shower day.
Are we still being followed by the?
So it would have been very hard to tell yesterday,
Oh,
and in
right.
fact, it would probably have been very hard to follow you yesterday. So you do have that going for you. But as you embark today, everybody who's interested in scoping it out, go ahead and give me a perception check.
If we moved on yesterday, we probably would have lost it.
Okay. It would seem that you are no longer being followed. So, warm, rainy day. You continue on your way. Once again, uneventful. So, another day, about, we'll say like toward late afternoon of this travel day that went by, suddenly the bond between Groilmod and
Oh no.
yeah, his
I would
tiger.
re-up
Cast
it. I
it
would
again.
cast Animal
Okay.
Friendship again.
Okay. All right.
12.
I mean, would it just leave at some point? Like,
Not if it's friended.
why
Yeah, you would never
not?
leave your
Like,
friends behind.
Becca, why would you leave your friends?
Look,
it
this is
doesn't
my.
say that it's a friend. It just says you mean it no harm.
It's called
It's
animal
charmed.
friendship.
Yeah, so that is an 18 on the save.
He is no longer a friend.
What?
Oh,
Do it again.
But yeah, so after that, like 24 hours is up, as Groma goes to like renew it, the tiger kind of like squints at him, and it's kind of like there's like a low growl, as it stares and sniffs, and just like turns and heads out into the jungle, kind of back the way you guys came.
Okay, bye.
Me love you forever, Toby.
All right. So then, yeah, end of travel day, long rest. You embark, and not long after, you head out on a day that is. What is it? What is the day? We must know the weather. It is sunny with rain showers,
Hot shower.
but not like really
Oh,
warm.
hot
Just,
shower.
just like, just
Lukewarm
yeah,
shower.
lukewarm shower, which kind of sucks.
You know I
Yeah,
don't
no.
like that lukewarm shower.
Lava showers. Okay. So yeah, about I don't know 2 hours after you head out from camp, you hear off in the distance loud footfalls, kush, 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 and loud like rumbling, shaking the ground and ringing out across the jungle. A familiar roar.
Oh no!
Is it coming our direction, or is it going away from us?
Who
Or
wants to roll a D100?
Not me.
I'll do it.
do it.
Do it. Do it.
Come on,
Do it.
99. 60.
Hey.
That's a passing
Oh.
grade.
You almost got a really good.
Yeah.
Almost got the good number.
So, yeah, no, you hear it, and then you see movement like way off in the as this towering thunder lizard seems to have already found something to pursue and
I
make
see
a
it's
meal
just
out
a
of today.
It's probably eating that tiger.
Oh. Is it eating the tiger?
That's in character, I say this.
I mean,
I have
it-
that reaction in character. I just kind of
So-
glare.
Fib giggles.
I don't like that the sound of that at all.
Better it than us.
Run, Toby!
If it's already dead, that's not much help.
yeah, I mean, it's not in the direction the tiger went, so unless the tiger, like, doubled back or something, you should be okay.
Are tigers extra tasty though? Because if it went out of its way to get the tiger,
Maybe.
I think they're fantastic. That's what I
I think so too.
so,
I mean, they could be great, but I guess let's not go there.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid any kind of copyright infringement.
Yeah. We don't want
Well,
our
I mean,
listeners to report us.
Look, there was only one R in there, which is very okay
Mm,
from
yeah.
the other thing with a nondescript number of R's.
That's
It
true.
really changes the vibe. So, okay. Then the day continues uneventfully. Lots of easy travel for you guys.
Yay.
I mean, after you see a T-Rex, like, I don't need more
Yeah.
excitement for today.
That's fair,
Yeah.
especially with the whole not getting eaten by it thing. That's a plus.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
especially like when I don't get eaten by tigers.
It's one of my favorite things that happens to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Next day, weather extremely warm and rainy, hot shower day.
Yucky yuck.
More uneventful travel. How are you guys gonna get leveled? I don't know.
Right?
No.
You might just
kill
die.
a T-Rex.
You need to start just working out or whatever. Just
Are we
practice.
going back to the port?
Yes.
I don't know what it's called. I can't say it.
Nyanzaru.
Port.
Nyan Cat. Yes.
Port Nyanzaru.
Yeah, we're going back there, right?
Yeah.
It feels like
Yes.
it's taking a long time.
Well, yeah, we were.
It took a long ass time to get to where you. Yeah, like in terms of like our out of game time, this is actually going a lot quicker than the way there. It's,
Which is the opposite of how D&D usually goes.
Yeah.
so, all right. Next day, you are in the midst of crossing over the River Ocean Star to reach the side upon which Camp Righteous and Port Nyanzaru rest. And again, you hear a loud roar off in the jungle.
Oh,
I need somebody to roll a D100.
Ugh.
The fucking T-Rex somewhere out there again.
Oof.
Okay. It seems to be preoccupied. But you know it's out there. You can hear it.
okay.
Feel the shaking of the earth. But for now, you are safe.
Do we think it can cross the river?
In certain places, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to
Alright.
avoid touching the water as much as possible.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was unpleasant for both of us.
At
You
least we
never
know that'll
took that
work.
thing off of Shark Boy Kill Big. Oh wait, I got it.
Okay. Okay, next day. Traveling. You travel all day, and you get back to Camp Righteous, whose
Hooray.
name I'm trying to not move here. Hold on.
Ah.
There we go. Camp Righteous. And you get there, returning once again to the statue of the man with the crocodile on his back and all that good stuff. The blasted out campsite in front of it. And the latrines from which you retrieved a mighty weapon at one point.
And remember to look in the toilet.
And yeah, so here you are for the evening. And as you're about to, like, you know, maybe figure out a good place to kind of settle in and crash out for the night, you hear like a loud, like huffing sound, just like a snorting, again, kind of like rumbly, large creature noise coming
Is
from.
Boy getting enough to eat?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you've been starving your bird friend.
Wait, who?
Blue boy.
Oh, Blue Boy. I forgot about Blue Boy.
I never forget about Blue Boy.
But yeah, so you hear the sound coming from like the general direction of the like the big statue.
Is the
But
statue grunting?
make a perception check.
Okay. Yes.
Could be.
Yep, statue's grunting.
It's alive.
Yep.
Without the alchemy jug inside, it has come alive.
Is it like how loud is it?
Loud enough that it carries across the camp.
Oh yeah, that's annoying. Okay.
Someone should sneak and see if they can see it, because I'm not very sneaky.
Grow model investigate.
Okay. 23 on the stealth check, net 20. Very nice.
I study how sneaky he is to see if I can get better.
Teach me your ways.
1 minute he's there, the next he's gone.
Alright.
I try to watch him, but
He's green, the grass is green.
you know,
The green grass grows all around.
All around.
I lose sight of him pretty quickly.
Yeah. So
Technically, I can roll higher on perception.
technically.
Technically.
Yeah, so you sneak around the far side of this crocodile man statue thing to like the back side of this structure that you guys had delved into before, and kind of like sitting there, like squarely on its butt, you see a large, furry white creature with 4 arms.
Oh no.
And it seems to be like struggling with some kind of like, it's basically like an oversized coconut or something. It's like trying to crack the thing open somehow.
Like this
Okay.
looks like
You want to
I-
be friends with
As soon as I see this thing, I immediately start moving back.
Okay.
You don't want to be friends with it?
This thing scares me.
It's just a big 4-armed gorilla with tusks. It's fine.
Scary.
So I get back to the group and I say, "There's a gorilla over there struggling to open something
Why don't you help it open it?
because gorillons scare me."
Wait, is it big and white and has more than 2 arms?
Sure does.
Yeah, I'll kind of side-eye at Zaka. Yeah, we probably should get away from that thing, shouldn't we?
She says, well, unless you want to fight it for the territory, that's what I would suggest, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, we probably should move a little farther away from camp.
Yeah, I mean, agreed.
Okay. So then, yeah, you continue on maybe a little bit beyond camp into the woods, and as you're like kind of leaving the outskirts of camp, you hear loud crunching and ripping noises up in the tree nearby, and you look up and you see another one of these creatures. They seem to travel in 2s.
Are they mates?
Oh god.
You go through this again. I mean, you don't know. Maybe. But yeah. Massive white-furred gorilla with 4 arms just chomping away at vegetation up in the upper reaches of the trees.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yeah.
Is it distracted then? Like it's just eating a coconut?
It seems like relatively distracted, and like you see it. It has like a half of one of these like oversized coconut things in its hands, and it's like you can see it like using a tusk to like scrape out some of the meat, and then it like throws the half, like husk of the thing down to ground level, and then you see it reach over, and it grabs the limp little body of what looks like a grung, little frogman,
Oh,
and like holds it up
Oh well.
and takes a big old bite of grung, just holding it by the leg, just like.
Sometimes he's hungry.
Does it show any sign of being poisoned?
It doesn't seem to.
Huh. Alright. I'll make a mental note of that, but I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to
That
draw
we
its
can
attention.
eat grung? Is that the idea?
No, my whole thing is it may be immune to poison.
yeah.
Why would you not say that then?
Because I don't want to distract
He's
it
being
from...
quiet.
Yes.
Ah!
Unlike that.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you guys want to try and get past the thing and make camp elsewhere? Is that the plan?
Why don't we go hide in the statue?
Isn't it blocking our way to the statue?
So there's one that's like behind the statue, and then there's one that is on like the northern outskirts of camp, kind of along your path back to Port Nyanzaru. You could, in theory, go into the statue from the front and not have the one in the back see you. Or you could just, like, kind of skirt around and try to deal with it that way.
I think we go in statue because if they see us only one come in at a time, we can handle one.
I'm not very sneaky, so sneaking around is not.
Yeah, I'm not very sneaky either, so...
Alright, we'll go into the statue then.
Okay. Okay, so... I think... I would like, How do I want to handle this? So, I guess we'll go, what's everybody's... This is going to be weird. So if you were to have a passive sneak skill, what would it be? I know we're going to have tyranny, but...
Passive is 8 plus your sneak, right? Your stealth?
10.
Yeah, it's
Mine?
10 plus your stealth mod.
10
Mine is
plus stealth? I thought it was 8.
12.
I'd be at
14.
10.
Okay.
10.
So... Alright. So, actually, I would like everyone to... Knowing that there's now another one of these things out there, and realizing that it's close enough that a wrong move could garner some interest. I'd like everybody to make stealth checks to get back to the statue without alerting it. And it's a group check, so, you know. Okay.
I rolled a 3. Which is
Oh
higher than...
boy. Alright.
Well...
Alright.
Time to run back to the
Oh,
statue.
wait, I forgot I have disadvantage.
Oh god.
Yeah, wouldn't want you to get an unearned 1, you know, when you could have a 0.
I could have a -1. Thank you very much.
Okay. So let's see. I mean, it has to be Cyrene, right? With the 1. So you guys are making your way back to camp.
6 isn't much better.
It's not, but like, you know,
It's not a nat 1, okay?
it's true. It's true. But no, you're like making your way back to camp, and you know, you think you're kind of like just getting to the fringe of its area that it might be able to perceive you, and Cyrene, you as you walk back, like just kind of within the confines of like the little busted up tent city, you maybe not watching your feet as much as you should be, you step on a fallen tent pole and like
Oh.
snap it. So there's like this loud crack followed by just dead silence across the camp.
Can I just say, since me and Thor both got pretty bad too, we both like and just make way more noise.
She does that and you both shush her.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Everyone else is just like flinching, like, oh god.
Yeah, and then you hear this like loud bellowing trees behind, and yeah, you hear just like the as it kicks off and lands in the dirt on the riverbank and begins like running towards you guys.
Get to the statue.
I'm running inside the statue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being careful not to run into the trap. I remember that's there.
Fight with your backs
Gromad
to the trap, yeah.
isn't going to run into the statue. He's going to wait until it's roughly 30 feet away.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh,
All
Hurry
right.
up! Don't stay. Let's go.
Anybody else hanging back?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll stay with him.
All right.
Good knowing you two.
Oh, I've got plenty of get out of here, so I'm good.
Okay, so I guess let's see. I mean, it's 9:55. What do we want to do here? Let's do this like first portion of it. So, let me get a Girlon here just so I can roll stuff for it. All right, so I'm gonna roll initiative for it. Oh, hey, that didn't. All the other stuff didn't clear yet. Let's clear the other stuff. Okay, initiative for it. I'll take its first roll, even though I had to delete it. So it got an 18. Okay. And then we've got Lucius and Groilmod. Holy shit, guys! It had an 18 and you both beat it.
I
At
did
least.
mod too, because I got it +2. Too.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay, so Lucius, what are you doing as you and Groilmod stand your ground against a charging Giralon?
I'm gonna look over at Grandma and say, what's your plan? And I'm just going. I'm gonna wait for I'm gonna wait for his response. But if it's something along the lines of run, I would like to Misty Step.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to cast Animal Friendship on it.
That's what I
Fingers
thought.
crossed, friend.
Yes. All right. So yeah, I'll just wait this one out then and see what happens with his.
Okay. So yeah, we'll like fast forward to the point where it's like exactly within 30 feet, and it's barreling down on you guys. And animal friendship. Choose a beast that you can see within range. Okay, checking the character sheet. All right, so you reach out and you cast your spell in this thing's direction, and you focus on it, and it seems like it's not able to affect this creature. Perhaps it's not a beast.
I quick glance over at Lucius. I give him a big smile and I say, "Run!"
All right. As he says that, I turn to Mist and I appear 30 feet away from him.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see how far away it started, so that way we know, how close it can get. So we'll say, by the time you get to take your turn, this thing is 10 feet away from you.
Okay. Well, I'm able to move away 30 feet still on
Yeah.
my turn.
Yep. So, okay. So 30 feet, cool. And yeah, that's what you got, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, then well we'll say that because you had kind of set this to trigger when it got within 30 feet, we'll say that was a held action. So actually, that'll give you another full turn, so you could move 60 total if you want.
Okay.
If you want to dash.
I will do that.
Okay. Cool. So you do that, and then Lucius, is there anything you want to do in the process as you guys are just running
Yep.
up the middle lane of the camp toward the statue?
That next turn, I'm casting Expeditious Retreat on myself, and I'm going to dash. I'm going to run, action dash, bonus action dash.
Yep.
So
Nope.
you just see
Okay.
Lucius turn into a blur. Just meow. Gone.
Okay. Cool. All right. So let's see if there's anything here. Okay. All right. So Gromod is running and Girlon is like following. It's like right on his tail. Basically the way this works out is it has to haul ass and dash to keep up with you. But that's what it's going to do. So it's like right on your back as you come running into the doorway of the statue. And I suppose that is where we'll pick things up next week.
Hell yeah.